Let's see here. John's assistant. Sage again. She's always driving. Actually, you're not driving all the time. It's Angie that's driving all the time. There's Richard. Did you already do Muay Thai?
I'm on my way.
Okay. So when's it start? All right, sorry, I'm sending these last messages out. Okay. Phyllis is here. Sarah, thank you. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Awesome, man. Great. Great to have you.
Yeah.
Hey, where do you work out at?
I work out at CrossFit Sea Dog.
Sea Dog. They did that. I was gonna do their little fucking Sea Dog Showdown or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah, that's what the summer showdown. Yeah,
Okay,
we're getting
yeah.
ready for that. So it's bananas right now.
They don't have the workouts yet, do they?
Yeah, they do. So
They
it's
do?
next weekend.
Oh, it's next weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, 'cause I was talking about last year. Oh,
Yep.
next weekend.
Yeah.
I just can't. There's a lot of like I have a jacked up shoulder, so anything that's like involving a barbell or any kind of kipping, I just can't do it. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. It's tough. There's a lot. Our barbell comp, I'm head judge for it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be watching the barbell complex like this because it's a lot of overhead.
yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I that's why I prefer like high rocks and any kind of like a lot of things I think are shifting that way, because I
Mhm.
love carrying heavy shit. I love like all that stuff.
Yeah.
I hate running, but I'll do it if I have to.
The majority of high rocks is running.
I know. Well, let me tell you. So it's funny because I have bought 3 passes to High Rocks. I bought one for Dallas. I bought one for Vegas. I bought one for Miami. I bit the bullet. Didn't go to all 3 of them. I did not go, and I fucking didn't even try to get the money back. You can't get the money back, but yeah, I just bit the bullet because I just got to that point. I'm like, I don't want to fucking run that much. I freak myself out. I got to stop doing that. I was literally looking at it yesterday. I'm like, I looked at one in Mexico. I'm like, I'm going to this one, and so
There's
they're
one in Tampa in October.
where?
In Tampa in October.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one too. Yeah, yep. So I was like sitting there going, all right, what is it? So it turns out to be like, it turns out to be what? Fucking like 6 miles, 7 miles,
I think it might be 5.
5. Oh, it is 5 miles. Okay, it's 5 miles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a weird,
So-
it's like a little over under like 800 meters, so like over under a half mile in between stations. So I haven't
All the
done
other
one
shit I
yet.
could fucking crush. I'll crush everything. But that fucking run, and I'm terrible at it. I did a 5K not too long ago, and I was fucking laid out. I was trying to keep up with my friend, and I was just fucking laid out.
Yeah, sometimes it's a mistake. You're just like, stay in my lane.
Yeah,
See you
I'm
guys
just
later.
yeah. That was a mistake. So if I'm going to probably do this one to Mexico, and if I do it, my idea is just I'm going to slowly fucking jog the whole thing, and I don't care if my time's 2 hours. I'm going to get it done, and I'm not going to overexert myself. But I always say that, and then I go there and act like a maniac and kill myself.
I feel like you kind of have to. Like that
Yeah.
mass start, everyone's just like, let's
Yeah,
go, you
yeah.
know?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. So let's bounce around real quick before we get started. We got a nice little group in here today. Kelsey made it. Kelsey's new, guys, so say hi to Kelsey.
Hello.
Hello. Hey.
She's only gonna be here for a little bit. She's got a lot of shit going on. All right, so I'm gonna pop over and ask some wins. Let's go with Jimmy. You seem like you're ready to talk. You already got your thing off mute. Let's go. What do you got going on? Share some wins, man.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just adjusting to the move. It's nice because I can just like get up, get my shit together. I've been meal prepping.
Nice.
Just basic stuff: chicken, rice, sweet potatoes, oatmeal, peanut butter.
Yep.
And
Stay away from the fucking peanut butter, bro.
well, I know, but I got
you're bulking anyway, so
I got the shit peanut butter.
listen, man, all that peanut butter, the calories, like you sit there and get a little tiny teaspoon of that shit, and it's like fucking 100 calories.
I got this all natural, fucking vegan, gluten free.
Yeah. You might as well just buy the bullshit that tastes good, to be honest with you.
Well, I did that too.
There you go. That's the shit right there. Yeah, that's the shit. I always get I do the gist.
I saw your post where it was like the steak the peanut butter scoop and how the calories were, and that's like in my head every time I eat
Well,
peanut
yeah,
butter
like
now.
so my problem is I banned it from the house because my problem is I love peanut butter so much and I will and this
Oh, me too.
I'm not lying, like I will like those the regular size bottles, I'll eat them in one sitting and that's like fucking 6,000 calories.
Oh, yeah.
So
So what? I should just not just leave the peanut butter alone.
if you have self-control, it's fine. I'm just telling you be careful. It's a slippery
How,
slope.
how many sandwiches do you get out of that? Just out of curiosity.
I don't eat
One.
sandwiches. I fucking use a spoon
Oh,
and I
you
just
just.
eat it out of
Oh,
the
yeah. I
bag.
got you.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like putting it in my protein shakes and
Yeah.
my oatmeal.
Yeah, but here's the deal. You're like bulking and stuff like that, so it's not a big deal. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, just be careful. Like I had to ban granola and I had to ban fucking peanut butter from the house because I'll go crazy on that thing.
Isn't there protein like peanut butter powder? I swear to
Yeah,
God, I
yeah.
bought
You
that
can.
before.
Yeah, the powder's fine. I mean, the powder's fine, but it's fucking disgusting. It's not peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
what
the
I
same.
heard. It was gross.
There,
It's
yeah,
not
so
the same.
there's no, it's really not. I am also a peanut butter person. It is not the same at
Yeah.
all. I will say if I am trying to keep my fats a little bit lower, which is what peanut butter mostly is, I'll like half my portion of peanut butter and I'll add a little bit of the powder. So I'm
Smart.
still getting that flavor
Oh,
profile. So I'm still kind of
Okay.
weird.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Little yeah, hack the system.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let me bounce around real quick. Let me get with let's see who we got. Michael, share a win.
Uh, got all my workouts in today.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Let me turn this off.
Fuck it. Um,
You're starting to lose some weight. The weight's going
yeah.
down.
Weight's going down.
Finally. I mean,
You know.
I feel like we were kind of stuck there for a little bit. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. But other than that, everything's good. Workouts are going well. Feeling good. Any pain?
Uh, just the elbow.
Okay.
That's it. You know, it's still acting up, but I don't think it's ever gonna change.
Yeah. No, that's kind of like that's like me with my
Yeah.
shoulder. I've given up. I'm gonna deal with this for the rest of my life. I don't give a fuck.
Like I feel bad because like my left arm I can lift way heavier and like the right arm just won't do it. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what do I do? You know, do I back off or fight through or
The next
I
time
don't
you
want
go
to.
to the doctor, like I said, kind of I don't know if you can get maybe an MRI or something, but see if you have a pinched nerve because that's what caused the problem. I thought it was tennis elbow, but turns out it was a pinched nerve from my um herniated discs. So that could be a problem. So all right.
Okay.
Well, Sage, tell me something good.
Something good. This week I journaled
Nice.
every day.
Nice.
That is a plus for me. I do need to be better at the gym at 5 a.m. because the freaking doing it after work doesn't work.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You know what? I made progress and at least I'm going.
That's all.
And
That's what we're celebrating these small wins. You're going,
I-
you've made progress. I will say,
it's hard to realize that too.
yeah, you
It's
gotta,
hard to
but
realize small stuff.
you gotta, small stuff compound over time. So you just sit there and every little thing, everything's a win, I,
Yeah.
you
And
woke
not to
up
be too
today.
hard on yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Waking up at 5, even. And then even if I sit and meditate a little bit, like that's still a win because I wasn't doing that before.
Yeah.
But it's hard to recognize that in the moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm doing good.
And
Things are well.
with
I just need to accept it.
yeah, well, I was gonna say with the gym, if you're having trouble going early in the morning, I always say like make make the bad habits hard, make the good habits easy, and then
Okay.
like put out what I tell people typically is like put your gym clothes out in the morning, like or at night.
Y-
Have your gym clothes literally
Yes.
sitting there waiting for you. So when you get out of bed, you got to obviously probably do a couple things before you do that, but be ready and just kind of maybe have your shaker ready or a bag, something that you see and you're like, fuck, I got to go to the gym. I said I was going to go to the gym.
No, I love that. I'm going to do that tonight. Actually, I will implement anything immediately. So that
It's like
I will do tonight.
it's like stacking habits, and have that habit set up where it's like, okay, I do this, I do this, I do this. And that third thing you do is like put on your gym clothes. And even if you're not in the mood to go to the fucking gym, you put on your gym clothes anyway, because that's just one step closer. So
Dude, all I can think about is that Tom Brady like video of him being like, you do it anyways.
yeah,
You don't want to go? You do it anyways.
yeah.
I have that replaying in my head all the
I say it
fucking
to myself
time.
every day because my mentor, I've said this before, my mentor says the same thing. And I literally, it happens to me all the time. Like I'll sit here and I'll be like, I have an idea. Like I was like, oh, I got to reach out to this person. It happened today. Okay. So I had a meeting that I had to reschedule because I had something else going on. And I was like, oh, I'll just do it later,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait a second. No, why fucking do it later? I do it now. I do it now. And I fucking got in there, boom, 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 knocked it out. Because your brain's always trying to keep you comfortable. So anything that puts you a little bit out of your comfort zone, your brain's gonna be like, nope, don't do that. We're gonna fucking chill. So
Yeah. It pisses me off because like if I chill, I'm bugged. But if I actually do shit, then I'm like, okay, I did it. I got it done. I feel better.
yep.
I accomplished something.
That's
So
like that's why I say all these, like, our morning routine is so important, because when you knock out all these things, early in the morning, it gives you a feeling of accomplishment, and it kind of sets the tone for the day. It's like, I've already fucking accomplished all this, and it's only fucking 8 o'clock in the morning. Most people
yeah,
are fucking sitting on their ass, fucking whatever they're
scrolling.
doing. Yes, doom scrolling, and I'm over here to getting shit done. So yeah, no, that's awesome. You're crushing
Thank
it.
you.
Keep up the good work. And I am going to, I don't want to go too long here, and Sarah's been nice enough to join us and talk about nutrition. So I'm going to pass it off to her. She's going to tell you her story a little bit, and then we're going to get into some different things. And then if you guys have questions at the end, feel free to ask some questions. So, Sarah, it's all you.
Hey, cool. So, hey guys, my name is Sarah Boltz, Boltz. Yes, that is my legal name. A lot of people think it's fake. It's not. It's my legal married name. So, I run a nutrition, surf, and wellness business. So, I do nutrition coaching. I do personal programming. So, for people who are trying to work out. And I'm also developing a strength training program for surfers, and I offer surf lessons. So, how we got to this point where that's my business, and then my kind of passions in life are, obviously, I go to the gym. I'm a competitive CrossFit athlete. So how we got to this space comes from actually going into treatment for an eating disorder. I was bulimic, and I felt batshit crazy, to say the least. I could not go to someone's birthday party without having a complete and total emotional breakdown because I didn't know how I was going to handle it. I was purging kind of anything that I could, and I like to joke with people about it because that's how I cope with it, but it was serious. So at a certain point, I was engaged. I was like, I can't live with myself anymore. I can't live like this anymore. You can't live with me like this anymore. There's not going to be a marriage if I keep going this way. So I reached out to a facility and I said, hey, here's my name, all this stuff. So I had to go through some appointments just to make sure I was like healthy enough. I didn't have to be inpatient, to go through an interview process. And then they said, okay, so now you're on a wait list. And I'm like, what do I do on a wait list? Like it's 2 weeks. I'm freaking out. I'm ready to go now. So I had to like kind of sit with that and start like really asking myself, how can I interrupt these behaviors before? And then once I got the call, okay, we got a spot for you. Off I went. So I would go from work 3 days a week. I'd spend about 3 hours there. And the first week, it's just, some of you may know, when you're going to treatment, you're going through that kind of thing, you're trying to make yourself better, even if you haven't been totally there yet. It's rough. There's a lot of new things. You're trying to change new habits. You're learning about where things came from and kind of what I was learning, what role my disorder played in my life. And it was trying to protect me, and it wasn't protecting me. It was actually hurting me. So 6 weeks later, I was done. So I'm 8 years out now. And what I really learned about was there's a lot of diet culture out there. There's a lot of like rumor mills about if you eat this or that, it's going to do this and that to your body, which is not 100% true. So I started working with someone who taught me more about a flexible approach to nutrition. A few years later, I got certified through Precision Nutrition. It's a great certification. It's really well rounded. I think it goes through a lot of things, and it's really reflects how I like to coach. So I like to coach in a flexible lifestyle. I have a client who's struggled with weight for so long. She hasn't been below 220 since 2024. She's been hanging out below 220 for a few months now, and she's been consistent. She's figuring out how to work in foods that she loves without completely overdoing it. So that's how I like to approach nutrition, because I feel like sometimes when we completely remove something or we go gung ho on something, we might completely backfire, right? Or if I say you can't have this, now that's all you want. Like if I say you can't have M&Ms, like maybe you want M&Ms, peanut, caramel, peanut butter, whatever it is, you might want that now because I've now put that in your head. So I like to figure out, okay, how can we make it happen? So same thing like I talked about earlier with peanut butter. I might cut down the portion of peanut butter that I have because I want to save some calories or I want to save some fats. I'm going out later and I'm like, man, I know I want a taco and I know I want guacamole on that taco. So I'm gonna save some fats. I'm gonna cut down peanut butter here, but I'm peanut butter powder, so I'm still getting what I need and I'm still staying on track. So having that accountability to myself and also having my clients have that accountability to themselves is super helpful. So, how I typically go about nutrition, has anyone, you can kind of comment in the chat, has anyone heard about like tracking macros or tracking portions, anything like that? Nods, comments. Yeah. Okay. So, I want you to come off mute or put it in the chat and just kind of tell me your impressions. When I say tracking nutrition or tracking macros, what are the first things that come to your mind?
Protein,
Yeah.
fats. Yeah.
Carbs,
Fat,
Carbs.
carbs,
Yeah,
fiber.
I
definitely
use
Good one.
fiber.
my
The
fitness
first
pal.
Whey
So,
powder, protein, carbs.
Okay.
yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel like people get really peer pressured into eating a lot of protein. There's like protein Doritos nowadays. I'm like, really? Yeah, I don't recommend them
That
though.
is crazy.
I'll tell
It's
you why in a
especially
minute, but I don't
marketing
recommend them.
Mhm.
Okay, so that sounds pretty good. So we know about protein, we know about carbs, we know about fats. I feel like protein is one that we all know about. It's kind of like the builder macronutrient. I think for a while people were under eating protein, and now I feel like it's kind of not overhyped, but we're kind of getting to that point. I personally like
Big
to have,
protein, isn't it?
yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, when we're talking about protein, I like to have, and I know JR has told a couple of you about like a gram per pound of body weight, but that also depends on how active you are and what your goals are. So I have a kid, he is looking to go to fire academy and he has to put on weight. So he's eating maybe like 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight because we're trying to put on more muscle. And I have him on a very structured plan of here's how we're going to make this happen and how you're going to capitalize on the nutrition that you're getting. So, what do we think about carbs? We'll just kind of cover the bases. When you hear carbs, what comes to mind?
Body fat.
Good
That's
carbs and bad carbs.
good
I feel
carbs,
like
bad.
I want to use the word body type because I feel like certain body types respond better to carbs than others.
Okay, okay. So we also got some pasta. We got some of the like
Like energy
mesomorph.
for before a workout, like
Our
loading
first
up on
source of
carbs
energy.
before you work out.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you guys are on it. So, yeah. So, I think let's address the body fat one first. I like that one. So, I feel like to an extent, if you're overeating calories in general, doesn't mean matter if they're calories from fat, doesn't mean they're calories from carbohydrates, or you can be like, well, I'm eating super clean. Like I'm only eating veggies. I don't eat anything like da da da. I say super clean. And you're like, but I'm still gaining weight. It might be like, okay, we're not quite balancing our calories out. So if you're eating too many carbohydrates, your body's going to say, I don't need that. I'm going to put that in my pocket for later. But if we are eating enough, which I typically say about like a cupped handful or two, depending on how active you are per meal, that's a good place to start. Pre-workout, absolutely. We want some carbohydrates. If you're weightlifting, I would say get a little bit of protein in there, maybe like 10 to 15 grams or so. So like a half a scoop away, I think is good. Or you could do like half a protein bar and a banana. Perfect. Easily digestible. Great. So about the body type, there's been some research, it's a little convoluted on if this is real or not. So there are some body types that typically respond better to carbohydrates. So I can't remember all of them, but I think I'm an ectomorph is what they told me. So I'm pretty like straight up and down. I'm longer, I'm a little bit leaner, but I respond really well to carbs. Like about 50% of my calories, I want to say, comes from carbohydrates, but I'm also super active. So I'm not needing that same amount all year long. Just right now, I'm in a very heavy training season. Once I'm not, I'll kind of dial that back down to reflect my activity. Is that all making sense so far? Anything else you want to know about carbs? Any other associations we have with carbs? Let's talk about good carbs, bad carbs. When I say good carbs, bad carbs, what are we thinking? What examples come to mind?
I'm like bread and pasta. That's bad. Is that bad
Sweet
carbs?
potatoes, white
Sweet
rice,
potatoes is a good one.
brown
Complex
rice.
carbs, right? Complex is what you want. I think.
Okay, so we got a lot going on here. I love it. So let's talk
Mm.
about let's see, Jeremy, did you say bread and pasta?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
feel that's kind of right, right?
so what makes you think, do you think they're good or they're bad?
I think it's bad carbs.
Why?
The
He's a
starch?
pro.
I don't know. That's a great question. I'm trying to think. What is
I swear, just because we've been told that,
Yeah, no,
you
I feel
know,
like the food pyramid from being in
yes,
high school. Like that's what I'm thinking of. Like
Yeah.
It's all processed though. It's all stripped out of
yeah.
nutrients.
But
Yeah.
It's
isn't
not
it
whole.
good to eat like pasta? Like if you're going to lift heavy weights, maybe like I don't know. That didn't make sense when I was coming out because you're not gonna eat it before that. But like,
well, a good amount of
Really?
sugar is like energy,
I get so
I
confused
guess.
with the diet.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's why we're having this conversation right now because it's not as easy to say good and bad. It's like,
Yeah.
well, it depends, which is what I say a lot in terms of context. So, yes, if you are someone, let's say you're diabetic, I might say, let's go for like more whole grain pastas. Yes, it is processed. Is it the most nutritious? No. If you're like, I will punch someone in the face for some pasta right now. I'd rather have you have the pasta and like not punch someone in the face because sometimes you just need to, but being aware and checking in of that portion control. Because typically when we go to restaurants and we see pasta, we're like, there's one serving, two, and it's usually like about 2 to 3. Like I always tell
Mm.
people when you start tracking, the first thing, peanut butter, when you actually measure out what a serving of peanut butter looks like, you're like, I'm a little sad now. This is not what I've been having.
Yeah, my
Um,
scoops of peanut butter are like, you know,
like
yeah,
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 you
now
probably
start
not
going,
good.
both slices of bread and then the jelly on one side.
yeah, yeah.
Gotta stack up the peanut butter.
Yeah. So I also heard complex carbohydrates. Yes, we do want them. So we do want the fiber that we get from them. We do want micronutrients, which are vitamins and minerals. So yes, sweet potatoes, they're going to have a little bit more. There are some in grains like oatmeal and in our pastas and in rice. So those are all good options. Also heard sugars. So I am, if you follow my Instagram, it's built by Boltz. I'll drop it for you guys. I actually just did a whole kind of a comedy reel about
Mhm.
sugars because when I have long training sessions, so if you're training like 90 minutes or longer, I have like some carbohydrates on hand. That can be dried fruit, that can be applesauce, and it's also nerd clusters. That's my other favorite because I need that quick sugar to get in my bloodstream so that I'm ready to go. Otherwise, I'm gonna crash mid-session. And then I'm like, all right, I'm trying to move this heavy weight and I just can't. There's nothing in the tank. And I cannot tell you how many people come up to me and were like, you're eating nerd clusters? Don't you know all the things in there? And I'm like, back it down, homie. Back it down. Within context. So I say
Hmm.
within context, sugar is not the worst thing that could happen to you. But again, it's all about the context. So it's hard to say good or bad. Everything has its uses. And yes, it's good to be mindful of sugar. Should you be cracking out on higher glycemic, like fruit, like eating 5 mangoes a day and like 3 bananas? Probably not. That's going to be a lot of sugar. But You could have your banana with some Greek yogurt. I keep saying peanut butter. It's just gonna keep coming up, and I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
It's the best thing
Some
in the
peanut
world.
butter, and
Yeah.
then a little bit of JR triggering granola. And you've got a whole, like, that might not work for everybody. If you have no control over it, maybe avoid it or just be very diligent in your measuring. But that's a very balanced meal. And what that's going to do, because it has protein, fiber, and fats, that is going to lower the glycemic index of the banana. So if you just ate the banana by itself, blood sugar is going to go right up, but it's going to increase more steadily when we have those other things to balance it out. And I just said a lot. So how are we feeling about carbohydrates? Any questions on that? Anything so far?
So if I'm eating the banana, because I buy a lot of bananas, but I eat Greek yogurt with it. But I usually make like protein shakes, and then I'm like dipping the banana in the because it's like a vanilla milkshake protein. And
Okay.
but you said mixing the banana with something balances it out.
Yeah. So if you're having it with the protein shake, you're having the banana and the protein. That's going to lower the glycemic
Okay.
index of that banana. So it's going to go more slowly into your bloodstream, the sugar at least, than if you just ate the
Okay.
banana by
Oh,
itself.
so that's good.
Yeah. I
Can
mean,
you
if you need,
explain glycemic index?
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, great question. So glycemic index is basically how quickly the food gets absorbed into your bloodstream. So you have like kind of a spectrum, if you will. So foods that have like more fiber in them, and foods in general, like Brussels sprouts, for example, very low on that glycemic index. No one's having a blood sugar issue unless it's covered in like maple syrup and absolutely phenomenal with like candied walnuts. But who's counting? So you're not going to have it from that. But a banana, that gets absorbed really quickly. There's not quite as much fiber to slow that down. So that's going to go up really quickly. My nerd clusters, those are also going to go right through. But that's why I need that. That's why I have them in the context of a longer workout, because I know, okay, this is going right to use. This is going to help me get what I need to get where I need to go. And then that's it. And that's what I want. I don't want that digestion to slow down because I need it right here, right now. If I didn't, I could opt for something else. Dried fruits also, because they're a little bit smaller, their sugar content tends to be a little bit higher. So that is also going to get absorbed more quickly. So great questions on that. Anything else about
Is
glycemia? Go ahead.
is frozen fruit dry fruit? Like freeze? No, that's right.
So freeze
Like
dried is like a different method. I'd have to double check for you what the sugar content on that is. I would say it's probably about the same. Frozen fruit, I think, should be about the same because it's just
same
frozen.
as regular strawberries or dry.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Because it's flash frozen when it's at its
Mhm.
ripest. So that's
So
another.
it holds all that.
Another quick tip:
Gotcha.
if you're like, man, I want berries, but they're like $8 and I just cannot afford that, get the frozen. It's going to be a little bit cheaper for what you get, like the amount, and then you can just thaw it.
Oh,
It'll
I
be
never
about the
thought
same.
of that. That's
Yep.
actually that is a smart idea.
Yep. Little budget hack for you.
Take that into mind if I ever run into a problem with getting berries. Budget problem.
The great berry shortage. Let's not put that out
Yeah.
there. Cool. Anything else on carbs we want to know? You want to ask questions?
Is I keep going back to pasta. Is like so pasta by itself is already bad or already carbs in general, right? It's
Mhm.
and then the sauce is adding
Yeah,
carbs to
that's
it.
another thing I wanted to know too. Like
So
the
yeah, like
sauce that you
how do you
put on
weigh
it.
exactly? And like, is there like do you do servings of sauce too? Like when you do your servings of spaghetti, if you have sauce with it, would you do servings of the sauce on it?
Yeah.
How would that work?
Yeah. So I would definitely just kind of check in with your sauce. So it's not like if you're having marinara, it doesn't turn into like a tomato soup or something. I would
Yeah, that's
check in. Yeah. I would check in with that, just kind of see where you're at, because you might realize, you know what? This says this is a serving, but I kind of want a little less. I don't need quite as much sauce. I'm good. I don't need that full serving. So, do you guys know where the serving size comes from? The one that's on a package?
Nope.
No?
Based on a 2,000 calorie diet, isn't it?
Yeah, so they do base it off. Well, that's kind of where they base the percent daily value. So if you're eating 2,000 calories, it's going to say this is this many grams of carbohydrates in it. That's like the percent of your daily value. So close. The servings come from when they make the product. They kind of conduct another survey and they have people say like, okay, like how much are you eating basically of this product? And they come up with the average and they say that is the serving size. So sometimes you might have a little more than the serving size. Sometimes you might have a little bit less. I made myself some oatmeal. I have a serving. No, I have like 75% of a serving of peanut butter in there because I
So
don't need.
it's
I
not
don't
like a
need.
scientific calculation.
Nope.
It's just, hey, how much of this did you eat? So if I
On
went
the
in there and ate like a whole box of something, then the serving size will go up.
If you really want to tip the scales, you probably could.
Huh.
But that is kind of where they get it from is on average, what is a consumer eating?
Yeah.
Oreos, like one or two. Okay, on average, there you go. That's our serving. Here's the daily value based on that serving size.
Interesting.
Was that Rose or?
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, Rose. Yeah, exactly.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know this is actually really, it's probably kind of stupid, but I'm new to nutrition. So
Mhm.
is there a difference between eating it before or after an exercise? Because I've been told like eating it before, oh, your body just burns what you're eating. When it's before you're working out, like right tonight, I ate the exercise.
Mhm.
I try to do it in the morning, but tonight it's like different. So
Mhm.
what difference does that make? And does it make a difference if I eat it before or after, or is it the same?
So I would say depending on what you're doing, you should be having some before and after.
Okay.
So the before, think about it like you're about to go on what kind of workout were you doing?
Tonight is just heavy lifting upper body. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay,
I don't
that's
know
fine.
how to describe it.
That's okay. This is going to make sense in a second why I asked. So imagine that you're going to drive like 20 minutes or something. It's not crazy, but your gas tank is like a little low. You're like,
Yeah.
I can make it because I know my car, but that gas light's going to come on.
Yeah, I
Same.
burn out.
Yeah. So having those carbohydrates is like putting gas in your tank so that you can keep going. You don't have to be like, I know I will be fine. I know my car. You'll be like, I'm definitely good. So you opted to get gas, but in this metaphor, you opted to get gas before it was an issue. So that you're kind of you're putting fuel in the tank so that your body can use it for your workout. And then once you're done, we want to have protein and carbohydrates after that so that we're helping the muscles repair and we're putting back what we took from our muscles. So it might sound like, well, then that's not doing anything, but it is because we're tearing the muscles down. We're breaking them down basically when we're in the gym, which is a good kind of breakdown. Then we want to facilitate the healing process so that we can see more muscle growth. We can get fitter. We can repeat that effort at our next session.
Okay. I have one more question.
Yeah.
Thank you for answering that. What's your take on fasting? Because I feel like I have this thing in my brain that I'm supposed to be fasting until noon, but I don't know how actually like legitimate that is if I'm working out and I'm burning calories.
Mhm.
Like what is your take on fasting?
So I think fasting is complicated. I know someone who does it and he does like crazy 16-hour fasts. He is not currently like training super hard for anything. He's very much doing just like, oh, I'm gonna go for like a light jog or I'm gonna do some bodybuilding. Like that's it. He's not trying to put on muscle or anything like that. He's just kind of maintaining where he's at. So I think there are times it can be useful. other times, I think it's just a way to restrict eating. And so I kind of caution people to examine why they're fasting. If you're
Yeah.
if you're not hungry until noon, okay, fine. If you're going to work out in the morning, let's see if we can get some coconut water or something in there just to give you a little something before your morning workout, especially 5 a.m. But if you wake up, like I wake up, if I don't eat within 30 minutes, I am like sick to my stomach. Like my blood sugar is so low. I do not feel good. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, girl gotta eat. All right.
I know, I get
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. So if you feel like that is what's best for your body, great. Whether you eat 2 meals, you eat three, you eat four, five, six, really depends on what your schedule's like, what your job is like, because some people do better with smaller meals. So for example, today I had 2 workouts and I was like, all right, there's no way I'm getting a big meal in between these two. So I had a bunch of small snacks basically in between, but then I made sure that my breakfast and my dinner were pretty sufficient so that I'm still getting enough across the whole day. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What do
Okay.
you track? Maybe this is a weird question too, but what do you track like your meals on? What app do you use, or do you just already know what it is that you're eating? So you're like, oh, I'm good.
No, I like to track because sometimes I'm wrong. I have a tendency, I do take breaks from tracking, and what I find is that I'm an under eater. So then I go back to the gym and I'm like, I was like, the 60% should be really easy. It's not. And then I realized,
Yeah.
oh, because yeah. So I use my Fitness Pal mostly because I just ignore it when it says you're eating too much because I know that I'm not. However, I've heard good things about Chronometer as well. I can put these in the chat
Okay.
so that
Well,
every because I know like my Fitness Pal can be triggering when it's like trying to put you on a super lower calorie diet. So
Yes.
it can be very triggering to go back to that app. But I think Chronometer is a little bit better about that.
so hold on.
Thank
Say
you. Yeah.
you're supposed to be tracking your food in my app.
I know.
Oh,
I haven't been. I haven't been
I know, I just
tracking
saw that.
anything.
Why are we not doing that? And that's why I hired Caitlin, because she's going to make sure you all are doing that.
Does it track what I'm supposed to? I need to do it. I
Well,
haven't even
I'll get with you.
tried.
I'll get with you out there. You don't even have a nutrition goal plan, or program. So I'll get with you later. We'll figure that out.
Obviously, I need help. That's what I was
Yeah.
asking.
I wish you would have said something. I had no idea. All right, we got you. We'll do it when we're done.
Thank you.
good, good. Okay, so how we feeling about carbohydrates? I think that was as controversial as I had hoped it would be, and I love it. I love it.
One thing about so I did buy a food scale,
Uh-huh.
but I haven't opened it
Uh-huh.
yet. It's just been sitting there on my desk for like 3 weeks. But so I'm just like pouring stuff or scooping stuff or and I'm trying to track it in my Fitness Pal, but it's probably obviously not like I took a picture with Gemini and was like, how big is this piece of chicken? And it was like, that's like 6 ounces, and I've been like tracking it as like 3 ounces. So I've been eating like double the chicken that I thought I was eating. So when you use the food scale, um, what tools do you need to put like how am I gonna weigh peanut butter? It's gonna get all over my food scale. Like I know that's
You
stupid.
don't just want to drizzle it on there, and then like scrape it off. Like, come
I
on.
was about to say
Like what
wax
tools do
paper,
you need to
like a
measure
wax
that
paper,
stuff?
maybe.
Super great. This is actually a great question. I haven't had this come up yet. So what I do for like things I'm taking out of a jar, pasta sauce, peanut butter, I put the jar on the scale, I zero it, and then I scoop it out and put it on. So my food is on the
You just put
side.
it straight on the scale?
The
No,
whole
so
jar.
my
Okay.
jar, so
So you have
scale,
like a plate and then
and then this is the jar.
tear it.
Yeah,
You,
tear it. My food's over here.
okay,
Then I
yeah. I
scoop it
mean,
out.
I know a little bit about drugs, so I know how to tear scales.
Uh,
Okay, I gotcha.
yeah, yeah. So that's how I would do it is I would put the jar on and then I would take it out from the jar and put it onto my plate so that I know, okay, I took out like 16
Oh,
grams of peanut.
that's smart. That's way less messier.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It also prevents you from being like, oh, That's like I scooped my peanut butter out. Oh, that's 16 grams. It says on there. I lick the spoon. That's another like 4 grams.
Oh,
So you think you had
yes.
16.
True, true,
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay,
It happens to
cool.
everybody.
Okay, I'm gonna open it tomorrow then.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Sweet. Anything else? Okay, let's talk about fats. When I say fats, what foods come to mind? What thoughts come to mind? Give me everything. You guys have been great with this.
Um, well, peanut butter. I keep hearing peanut butter's got fats
I
in
know
it.
we need another example. We'll come up with
Yeah.
another
Oil,
one.
like cooking oil.
Cooking oil, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Butter.
Mhm. Butter, yep.
Oh, butter.
Terry
Avocado.
Bolt's best. Avocado, yep. Okay.
Nuts.
Yep.
No?
hmm
Yeah, nuts.
hmm
Well, peanut butter, nuts, yeah.
I mean, there's some like there's sesame paste like tahini, but sesame's a seed, so we'll give it to you.
Okay.
Anything, any like word associations? We had good carbs, bad carbs. We have good fats, bad fats.
Healthy fats, maybe?
Healthy fat. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, everyone was really up on the carbs. Everyone really
Yeah.
feeling that one. All right, cool. So, contrary to what some people say, fats do not actually make you fat. I feel like I have to say that, especially for
What?
ladies. What? Ladies, fats are super important for your hormones, especially if you are working out, because working out is
What?
great. I mean, it's good for you guys too, but ladies, our hormones fluctuate like
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
more. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
important for everybody's hormonal health to have enough fats. I cannot tell you how many people come to me, they're like, "Oh, I want to do nutrition." And then they ask ChatGPT for nutrition, then they send it to me and they're eating 20 grams of fat in a day, which is maybe like 2 avocados, 2 small ones. And then I'm just like throwing my phone out the window. So yeah, I'm like, you're way under eating that. No wonder you just don't feel good. So,
Mm.
fats are very important for our hormonal health. They're also important for satiety, so helping us feel full. So, going back to, let's do a different one. We'll do a bougie example. So, let's say you have toast with breakfast and you're like, I'm gonna be so good. I'm gonna have my egg whites, I'm gonna have my toast, spinach, great. And then you're like, fuck, I'm starving. It's been 5 minutes. And I just finished. Yeah, probably because we didn't have enough fats in there. So you could take
Mm.
avocado, put it on your toast. You can mix an egg yolk in with your egg whites. That way you're getting some more vitamins and minerals as well. And you're going to stay fuller longer, depending on the kind of toast. You're going to have some fiber in there as well. So all of that, the protein and the fats, so protein in our egg whites and eggs, our carbohydrates from our toast, fats from our avocado, and our yolk. If you throw some cheese in there, great, awesome, do you. We have a nice combo. We're going to be full for a lot longer than if we just had some sad egg whites and a piece of toast, because that's what TikTok told us to have.
Yeah.
So I personally, especially if you're someone who's working out, I would recommend keeping your fats farther from your workout. Think fats equal far, just because they do take longer to digest, which is part of how they keep you fuller longer.
Babe.
So, so I would keep them a little bit farther away because they take longer to digest. So let's say you're like, I'm gonna go smash that avocado toast from wherever, think like an oversized one, and then we'll go hit the gym. You might not feel so good. Just letting you know that. Your stomach might be very unhappy. What happens when we start to work out is if you're digesting, your body shuts down that process. It takes the blood away from that and puts it into your working muscles. So that's just sitting there. So if you've ever had that feeling,
Oh.
yeah, you're in the gym, you're like, man, I really don't feel good. That could be it. You just haven't
Oh.
given yourself enough time. Yeah.
Hmm.
So those are some important things about our fats. So healthy fats versus unhealthy fats. I like to say they're pretty easy. I don't think fats are that in this day and age. I don't think it's that difficult. So Avocado, I would say, is a healthier fat. I would say olive oil, things like that. Grass-fed butter, like in moderation. Kerrygold's the best. I will die on that hill. But in moderation, I think that's totally fine. You'll have some things that cross over, like salmon is great for protein. It is also a higher fat fish because it's got more oil to it because it's cold water. So that is also going to contribute towards your fats. But again, we're still tracking with healthy fats in that. Questions on fats, healthy, unhealthy? Feeling pretty good on fats?
Mhm.
Cool. All right. So that's kind of like the overall, like the myth busting of things. We got about 15 minutes ish. So let's open up the floor to just general questions. I know I brought up the TikTok. So if anybody's like, I heard this or I heard this rumor, I love myth busting things. Or
I
questions
did
about
hear
sex.
that. I did hear the you said the nerd ropes, but I don't know who it was that was talking. I don't know if it was Sam Sulik or whoever it was, but they were saying it wasn't nerd ropes, but they were eating some other candy that during the long workout, like a
Mm-hmm.
90-minute workout or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that like a certain type of candy? Like, I mean, because I like nerd ropes, so I can just get nerd ropes if I'm in the gym for that long.
Yeah,
But
you can basically we're looking for a gummy candy mostly. I wouldn't really recommend chocolate. I don't know about anyone else, but when I'm working, yeah,
no,
no,
like the
no.
gummy lifesavers things.
Yeah, that's good. Dried
Okay.
fruit. There's also they're super expensive, but I think I'm like really into them now. Soli is a brand it's at. I got it at Publix. It's like a mango guava. Basically, they just dried the fruit and like put it together in this delicious gummy. I cannot get enough of them, but they are more on the expensive side. Those will work. Could also
There's
do
Oh,
there's
gummy
creatine
bears.
gummies
That's what it
too.
was. They
The
were eating
beast
gummy
gummies, I
bears.
think.
which gummies? Did you say, Jeremy?
I think it's Beast. I keep seeing them on TikTok pop up. They're some creatine gummies. I think it's called Beast
All
gummy.
right, I'm gonna save you about $20 on gummies. So if you see if you see it's like a vitamin gummy or like a creatine gummy, that is sprayed on to the gummies. There is no saying how
Oh,
much there actually
Oh,
is. Yeah, you
wow.
can.
Okay.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
very,
because
thank
those
you for
came out of
that.
nowhere, and now it's like
was
creatine
it? Did
gummies
Mister?
everywhere.
Oh yeah, creatine's the next one. It is great. Don't get me wrong. It is great for muscle building. It is also great for they've seen benefits for people with anxiety. It is not going to fix your life, though. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
There are actually some people who don't respond to creatine. They are few and far between, but I have met them. So there are, if you take it and you're like, I don't feel different, I have zero body composition difference, that might be you, or we might want to take a look at where the creatine came from. Like creatine gummies, probably not going to do it for you.
Hmm.
Okay, so great questions so far. Any questions about like how to track food, supplements, things like that?
I have a quick question about bananas. So
Yes.
I did a CrossFit years and years ago, and it was a 5 a.m. class. And she's
Mhm.
like, eat a banana within 30 minutes of waking up, shovel a banana, you'll get here. It'll taste the same going down as it does coming up. Girl, I can't eat a banana. Like I gag now because of that experience. Like I love the CrossFit. But you mentioned coconut water.
Mhm.
What else can I supplement that does the same thing as a banana? Because it worked. Like I didn't feel bad at the time. It was just now I just can't eat them. I used to love bananas. Rest in peace, banana pudding. I can't eat you anymore. But what do I do about coconut or besides banana? What else could I eat that does the same thing? Like as soon as you wake up.
Yeah, so you can do rice cakes. They're pretty easy to get down. If
Okay.
you like those, you could do let's go higher sugar fruits. You could do like a mango. We're just thinking about things that are going to get into your bloodstream quick. And for some people, it's chewing. They just can't do it. So you could also have some juice and go
Okay.
like I have clients who are like, I cannot, I will be sick if I chew before 5 a.m. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so can you have like, let's have,
Okay. So
I was like, do you have
juice
coffee?
just to
Yeah, so
get the
coffee.
sugar.
Yeah, you can put
Say again.
sugar and creamer a little bit in your coffee will work. I have
Okay.
really been into if you're an iced coffee person, I've
Yes.
done cold brew, like 4 ounces of cold brew with like 4 to 5 ounces of coconut water. So it's like a little iced Americano. It's a little sweet, but not too bad. You're getting that little hydration in there. So that might be a good option.
That's what I needed to hear. I love coffee, and that's usually what I only drink in the morning or have before lunch anyway. Okay.
Great. Yeah.
And then the second thing, I I did like a detox for like a weight loss thing, and they told me I wasn't allowed to use any lotions that had any type of like shea butter in it because your skin will
Oh.
prevent weight loss. Yeah, like she was saying, your epidermis is your largest organ, so anything with shea butter type, they had like a list of approved lotions that we could use during this. And it was like, you cannot use any shea butter at all, or you're not going to lose weight. And this was years ago, but still, like, have you heard that? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm wondering if they're talking about like water weight loss, because when you put lotion on, it doesn't actually moisturize your skin. It just traps the water in. So I'm
Okay.
wondering if you wouldn't get results because you might not be losing enough water. I'd have to check in on that. It's the first time
Okay.
I've heard that, but if I had to make like an assumption, that
Okay.
might be it.
Okay. And then really quick, thirdly, I also am a peanut butter lover. JR, Jimmy, don't ever buy the Biscoff cookie butter, because I bought some for a recipe and I bought 2 little jars thinking the one little jar is going to be enough. I ended up going back and getting like 3 extra jars of it, and I ate like crack cocaine. Like I couldn't stop eating it. I'm not allowed to buy it anymore. I've given myself a cutoff, so don't eat the cookie butter.
Yeah,
Anyway, thank you for
sometimes
being
you
here.
just gotta say enough is enough. I can't have it in my house. I can enjoy it outside, but in my house, no way. Yeah, great questions, guys. Anything else?
When I walk down the aisle and I hit the peanut butter aisle, I have to like literally have like a heart to heart with myself and fight myself. Get the fuck away from this. I look, and sometimes I'll see a 2-for-1 peanut butter deal, and I'll be like, oh man. Yeah, it's a fight. It's a fucking fight. So let me ask you a question. What do you think of like, I know that like clear proteins are becoming more and more popular. Do you know anything about them? What do you think?
There was one I had at a competition I really, really liked. They have it at Target. I can't remember the name, but it was like a lemonade one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. Honestly, I think clear is fine.
The same as just drinking a regular whey
I
protein.
think it's just kind of like drinking regular, because it's usually whey. It's just what is their quality of whey is the question that I would have. Because I don't know if y'all have ever had some not so great quality whey, but it does not sit well with people. So yeah.
Yeah, because
So
a company sent me a jug of it, and I tried it, and it's really good, and I'm just like wondering if it's the same, like if it gets absorbed the same, if it's
I
like,
think it should. It
okay,
should. Whey protein absorbs pretty quickly, so I think it should be okay.
right. And what about hand portions, real quick?
Ooh, yeah, because we talked about that a little bit. So going back, I actually wanted to tell you this, Jimmy. So if you don't want to use Gemini, or you're like, can I trust Gemini? Because sometimes it gives me some weird answers. You have this with you at all times. So a serving of protein is your palm. So it is individual to you. And
Oh,
it's about 25 to 30 grams of protein or so in that like serving, if you will. So about like 3 to 5 ounces. It's pretty accurate. I have some clients who just can't track because they have a history of disordered eating. So I don't want to put them through that. So I'm like, great, let's just make it a little game on your phone. You're going to have like little emojis for your protein. You're just going to tick them off as you eat them. So that's how they do it. They measure with that. Cupped handful is carbohydrates. So that right there. And then a thumb is your serving of fat. So this can be a little bit hard when you go to the restaurant and you're like, trying to measure it on your plate. So I always add in just like a little bit extra. Sometimes you can see it. You're like, oh, mama, there's a lot of grease on there. Okay. And that's just one of those, like, let's say you planned it in advance. You're like, this is looking like 4 thumbs, dude. And I only planned for 3. Like, shit. It's like, all right, we live, we learn. Next time I come back, I'll be ready for it. So
So
that's
if when you're saying in the protein in your hand, so if I have like I cooked like chicken breast and I just put them in the fridge and then I pull it out and heat it up and I eat it. So if the chicken breast is fitting in the palm, is that what you're talking about?
yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't actually have to hold it. You can like put it next to your plate. Gotta cover my bases. But yeah, so just
Okay.
if you're eyeballing, you can kind of be like, oh, okay. And as you go, you get better at it. So you're kind of like, okay. So you go to Chipotle, you can be like, all right, that's about it's like about a palm of steak right there. That's like 2 cup handfuls of rice. Maybe I'll save some rice for later. And then veggies, we want to go for about a fist at every meal. If it's leafy greens, I'm like, go ahead, go have some leafy greens. No one that I know of has ever gained weight from eating spinach or lettuce. Like it
Yeah.
takes up more room because especially if you're trying to lose weight, food volume is your friend. So I'm like, you want to have your pasta? Amazing. Let's add some veggies to it, bulk it up a little bit without
Mm,
getting too many extra calories in there, but we're still taking up more room in the
yeah.
digestive system. So you'll still feel full. Great questions, guys. Anything else?
Anything? No?
That's a lot of good info.
No, it was. It really was.
Yeah, it
What
was.
about
I
what about
appreciate it.
net carbs?
Ooh, net carbs. I typically use
Oh.
them. Yeah, that's a good one. I typically use them for people who are diabetic, mostly because
Mm.
that applies more to them. For general clients, I'm like, just go with the carbohydrates that are on the package or whatever you're eating. Don't worry about the math too much. That's typically where I go with that. But I haven't really
So
had
it's
a
like
client.
every gram of fiber cancels a gram of carb.
Yeah,
Is basically how net carbs work.
yeah, it's something like that, but I haven't had a client who's really needed to follow it. We're just a little bit more like, let's focus on getting enough fiber in our day. Let's focus on getting more complex versus simple carbohydrates, and that's kind of how I go about it. But I haven't had anyone who's needed to use net carbs. Usually we can kind of figure things out without that. But a lot of times, if you're going to log things in MyFitnessPal, they will have net carbs already in there. That's just how people log it. So plus or minus a couple grams of carbs or fats, protein is not going to end you. I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think I have one more.
Yeah.
Um, do this might be like a throw off, but
I love it.
I'm curious about it. I have trouble with sleep. Does food affect your sleeping at all? Like, should you not
For
eat?
sure.
Yeah, you should stop eating at a certain time, right? I feel like I eat my dinners too late, and that might probably affect my sleeping as well.
What time are you eating dinner and what time are you going to bed?
I eat dinner like 8:30, and go to bed at like 11.
Okay, that's not too out of the ordinary. Is that because your like work schedule has you eating later? Is that
Yeah,
just
so
like,
I
oh
get
shit, it's
home
8
from
o'clock.
work. Yeah, I get home from work around like 6, and
Okay.
usually the first thing I do is, if it's a gym day, I'll go to the gym, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't like eating before the gym. I get like nauseous. I don't know what it is. I gotta figure out like what to, maybe just protein bars or something is what I need to start going towards. But my main thing, I need to get my sleep fixed. That's the first and
So let me ask a
foremost.
quick question. Since you have cut back on the vaping and the energy drinks, has your sleep gotten any better?
It has. It has.
Okay.
I guess it's just like it was so bad, and it's to a point where I'm getting sleep now. It's just like, maybe I need to take this Apple Watch off. The
Are you,
tracking is driving me crazy
is
too.
Yeah.
it,
Like,
Yeah.
because
Too
I'm getting
much.
like 25%, like 10% sleep. Like I'm seeing, I'm like, I'm not, there's no way I'm sleeping this little, but I feel it.
So
But
I I would take your tracker with a grain of salt, or just don't even look at it. Like this morning, I closed the gym last night, so I was home by 8. I opened the gym at 5 a.m., so I was up at 4. And I was like, I don't even want to see what my watch says about my sleep, because if I see it, I'm gonna feel it, and I don't want to feel like I don't want to deal with it.
I
I will
stopped
deal
wearing
with
my
it in
Whoop.
real time.
I
So
stopped
that could
wearing.
be one thing. You also might be a little sensitive to working out later in the day, because sometimes when we work
Yeah.
out later in the day, then our brain is still like, let's go.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then eat, and then
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm
no, I gotta
trying to
digest.
switch over
Like,
to the mornings. At least half of my
If you can
workouts,
do
I'm trying
that,
to
if
get
you
in
can
them.
start working out in the mornings, that could definitely help. Because I tell you what, I used to be an evening gym goer, and I always said, "Oh, I can't go to the gym early in the morning." That was like when I was in nightlife and still drinking and shit. But once so I don't even remember. I don't know if it was a coach or a mentor or someone. They're like, "You need to start working out in the morning," and my sleep improved so much when I started working out in the morning.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and I guess like I had like I want to work out in the morning. The thing is, like when I go to the gym, I feel like it's a waste if I don't give it my all. And I know how I am when I'm tired. Like I
Yeah.
know how I perform when I'm tired. So I don't want to go to the gym in the morning and start half-assing, you know,
What a bit.
just because.
There's no better way to get that fucking to wake up
Yeah,
and
no,
get
that's
that party started.
yeah, no, I used to hate mornings. I'm starting to like mornings just because the build up, like the wake up, some meditation,
Yeah.
shower, and then like daily affirmations, journaling.
Yep.
I'm actually starting to enjoy mornings now. But
I enjoy
yeah,
waking up. I get excited
yeah,
to go to
no,
bed because I'm like, I'm ready to get
it's
up and go do my shit in the morning.
Yeah,
yeah,
I've
no,
never been like that.
it's
And now
opposite
since
now.
being in this program, I wake up, I'm like, yes, all
Yeah.
right, I do
Yep,
this, I
Good.
go
same.
down there. And I'm like, I get sized to wake up now. It's crazy.
I know. Same thing happened to me, man. All right. So it's 8 o'clock. If anybody's got some last minute questions they want to ask, well, it's 8 o'clock here. It's probably not 8 o'clock where you're at, but if anyone's got some last minute questions, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Um,
Go ahead.
she said she was gonna put her Instagram. I was
yep.
Yeah.
gonna.
I'll put it, I can put
Okay,
it in our group too. I'll drop it in
okay,
the group chat.
all
Yeah.
right, sounds good.
Excuse me.
And Sarah,
And
thank
thank
you
you for
so much.
everything.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like
Yeah.
that was super insightful. And you know what? I thought it was a lot of fun, like asking questions as we go and everyone kind of, participating. So
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of nutrition classes, kind of being in rehab through the VA, and a lot of and I think you were one of the easiest to take in, to understand, with how hard it is for me to get nutrition. And so, yeah, I really liked it. I learned shit, and it was easier to take in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's my take.
Thanks.
Yeah, yeah,
I
for real.
try to keep it simple, because yes, there's like upper echelons where it's a little bit more fancy, but
Yeah,
you don't
sometimes
always
they
it's
just
like you don't have
pile
to
in
flex,
too much
okay?
at once, and it's
Yeah.
like overload. And I'm like,
Hmm.
wait, yeah.
Yeah.
But you did awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys have questions, please feel free to reach out. There's no question that's like, I wouldn't say it's a stupid question. I'm not going to tell you unless you're like, hey, should I like quit eating vegetables? Then I might say that's a really dumb question. But anything like, there's so much misinformation out there between TikTok, Instagram. Everybody's just like, I'm a nutrition coach now. And it's like,
Yeah.
are you,
Yeah.
or do you just like to eat healthy? Like, I have some questions, so please feel free to ask so I can help any way that I can.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for having
All
me,
right.
guys. Have a great rest of your night.
Thanks.
All right. And
Have a good one.
I'll see you guys check
See
in
ya.
tomorrow and I'll see you guys on Saturday.
All right, cool.
Yes,
See you,
sir.
everyone.
Later, guys. Bye.
Bye.